everyone. Good afternoon. Slightly later afternoon than I'd hoped. It's the voice of Ian from the Vision Mix track here at Duxford. We'd been hoping to see a very busy day here today at Duxford with parachute drops and maybe the odd practice display. It's not been the case, unfortunately. It's been very poor weather. We haven't seen very much. We have just had the DC-6, and I'm sorry I didn't bring you that live. Not quite managing that one. But yeah, with us now, and who knows, maybe with clearer conditions, you and I might both be surprised by some flying action. We'll see. I'm sort of half relying on the chat. I can see Kieran on there and many others as well giving us updates on what's going on around and about, and also the odd rumour around the airfield as we get wind of what's things that are due to head our way. But yeah, we can cross our fingers. I can see what can we see here? So we did have Dakotas on the ground yesterday, 5 of them. Enjoyed witnessing those guys heading off to North Weald in the afternoon as I was setting up. I'll give you a shot wide there. So not much on the ground here at the moment. So the Sea Fury, obviously Sally B as well. But what a sight that is, the DC-6 here. Not seen that display for many, many years. So welcome everybody. Thank you very much for tuning in. Of course, this is a bit of a preview stream ready for tomorrow. So tomorrow kicking off. Actually, I heard rumours again that might change, but do you know what? I'm not going to give you a time. Generally, Duxford displays, I haven't got a running order yet. Generally, the Duxford displays begin in the early afternoon, around about 1 o'clock or so, perhaps a little earlier. So if you are joining us on watch.planestv.com, you can, I will update the start time of that broadcast tomorrow, and I will go live no matter what tomorrow. This one today has been a little bit of an odd one with some inclement weather, as you might say. It's been pretty damp, pretty windy. Not been the day for, to be honest, cameras or aeroplanes. I can see Valentin saying B-25 still over Germany, so not sure where B-25's heading, whether we're expecting it here. I assume we are. Over Germany, gosh, that's going to be a bit of a trek still to go. I won't commit to sticking. Well, we'll stay live for the foreseeable, I think. I can see Kieran saying I've got ADSB up as well, actually. So where's my camera gone? So I'm talking to you guys on the stream. I'm also talking to Adrian and Matt, who are on cameras today. I should probably be on stood in front of that camera there, but today doing the Vision Mix job as well as everything else is a bit of an all hands to the pump job as we prepare for the weekend proper, where we'll have more team members for the full live broadcast for the main air show. I see a few people saying Team Raven coming in, so I'm ready and waiting. So I think we can see a solo, one lowly. Is that an RV8? Yes, it is. Wide angle's got it. So not quite Team Raven. Ah, yes, more than one of them. So we do have one already on the ground, one of the members of Team Raven on the ground. And a few more heading our way by the looks. Matty Muscat asking, is the DC-6 flying today? The answer is I don't know. I think they were doing some stuff out in Wales, weren't they? I assume that's all done and dusted. So I suspect it'll be on the deck until flying tomorrow, is my assumption. Weather being what it is here. So yeah, just 2 members of Team Raven. You can see the other one on the deck already. I don't know where they've come from, but have they been down in the southwest? No, not yet, probably. Oh, maybe. Got the track open on ADSB. I should dig it out, but I've got too many buttons to press over here. Yeah, Kieran's saying we should get the scanner. There's a scanner running, Kieran, but it's just out of earshot. I'm also talking to the camera guys and concentrating on what to say to you guys. So I don't know. It's a bit of extra jeopardy, isn't it? Me not knowing what on earth's going on, as well. I should at this point say, of course, we'll have Ben Donnell on the commentary tomorrow. Yeah, Ben providing expert commentary throughout the flying display Saturday, Sunday with Colin as well, and prepared a few sort of recordings and things to enhance some of the displays as well. So it'll be interesting to see what goes on there. M2K Music asking, do we know what practices are planned for today? I know what practices were planned, but those times have come and they have gone. So my assumption is that we are not likely to get practices, but don't all rush off because you never know. So I'm staring at ADSB. I've got my ear out for people with updates. I'm afraid aviation on a day like today becomes a stare at the sky and wait for an opportunity to go flying and make it up as you go along a little bit. And I'm afraid that means the stream is a bit that way as well. What I do have is a few videos I can play, so we are excited to be bringing you live broadcast coverage of the D-Day Airshow tomorrow and on Sunday. Action-packed weekend to look forward to, and the weather much improving over the weekend. Sunday's looking really nice, and tomorrow still pretty good. Slightly stronger winds than I would like, but yeah, still pretty good. So it looks like the RVs are down and dusted. Down and dusted. That's an interesting phrase I've just invented. Yeah, I think in the absence of any other movements, I'll let you watch this short video to give you a bit of a sense of what we're expecting to see the weekend. We have seen a couple of things not able to take part due to weather today across the rest of Europe and a few other reasons as well. But I think we've updated this to be fairly representative of what we're likely to see over Saturday and Sunday here at Duxford.
The morning of June 6th, this was the battleground. Vast squadrons of bombers and transports led the way. More than 11,000 planes spearheading the attack. Paratroopers landed in Normandy behind the coastal defenses. Landings made with timing and precision, perfected only through scores of rehearsals like this.
D-Day is marked 80 years on at the Duxford Summer Airshow 2024. One of the key commemorative events of the aviation component of Operation Overlord, the show will bring together a large collection of Dakotas from the USA and Europe for mass flypasts and parachute drops. But it's not just about the D-Day anniversary, with airshow acts flying in from across Europe. The Flying Bulls are bringing their DC-6, P-38 and B-25, and Frederick Ackery is visiting the UK with his Sabre for only the second time. Plus, there's the outstanding Rafale solo display from France.
So who spotted the items that we are not, unfortunately, going to see over the weekend? So we won't see the Sabre and we won't see the P-38, unfortunately. Yeah, weather causing cancellation of of us witnessing those guys, which is a real shame. P-38 would have been lovely. But Rafale, both days, really excited to see that. Many Dakotas and expecting parachute drops. Did I hear both days? I think so. Slightly sidetracked by the chat. I can see Angus saying, hope all is well. And it is Angus. I'm at an air show with my cameras. I'm a happy man. Lovely to see you in the chat again. And we won't be at Cosford, no, unfortunately not. But we'll be at, we have a RAFA event the following week. And then we're out to Lesno. So if you haven't heard us talk about Lesno already, it's a pretty remarkable show. Let me just get a video prepped, actually. I can give you a bit of a sense of what it is. So Lesno out in Poland. The first time first time I've headed out there. Adam's done plenty. And we'll be live broadcasting. So if you're a watch.planestv.com subscriber, you'll be able to watch all the flying action at what is a remarkable event. And do you know what? I can't do any better than press play on a video to give you a sense of what that's going to look like.
It's one of the fastest growing and most exciting air shows in Europe. Plains TV is thrilled to bring you live coverage of Antidotum Airshow Lesno for the very first time. The best of Europe's civilian airshow performers have come together, along with an enviable pick of military teams for this extraordinary flying display. And we'll be taking you into the middle of the action like never before, with live aerial filming over the course of the show. The Polish Air Force features strongly here, with spectacular flare-filled displays by the C-130 Hercules and the Tiger demo team. And we're also looking forward to the Lesno debut of the brand new M346 Belix solo display. Visiting from abroad, the PC-17, Swiss Super Puma, Slovenian PC-9 and a Swedish SK-60, performing at an air show for the very last time before its retirement from military service. Lesno is famous for its combat reenactments, comedy acts and other specially choreographed one-off displays. And this year's cast includes piston warbirds, classic jets and other airshow favourites such as Rich Goodwin's jet-powered pits. The airshow continues late into the night and concludes with a spectacular pyro display featuring the likes of the Bo 105, the Flying Dragons and the Aerosparks display team. Almost every kind of aviation is represented over the course of the roughly 7-hour flying display, from fast jets to unlimited category aerobatics, helicopters, paragliders and even hot air balloons, flying in stunning sunset conditions. Welcome to Lesno, and welcome to an airshow like no other.
Yeah, really remarkable show. Very much looking forward to heading out there. Where are we? Just a few weeks' time. 2 weeks' time. 2 weeks? 3 weeks. The material you saw there of the drones in particular, so we'll be incorporating 2 drones, a sort of general, slightly wide angle, but in the display box, if you like, drone bringing live feed, and also an FPV drone. And that one in particular I'm very excited about. It's a bit of an unknown. Don't know quite what we're going to get, but incorporating that in a live broadcast is going to be, a bit of a first, I think. I'm really excited about that, to give you that kind of perspective. I'd love to do a lot more live on board material, but yeah, cameras in the sort of display area done very safely, I think could be something really special. So yeah, that show taking place middle of June, again available on the streaming service at watch.planestv.com. See Sally B there, see a crew on board it. Not sure what they have planned, if anything. But, and what else have we got? So DC-6, bit of cargo coming off. What a toy that is. Fantastic way to get around Europe. So what else are we looking forward to this weekend? So again, I think my best thing I can do is give you a bit of a video that Adam's prepared of what we're expecting to see. over the weekend, and we'll see if he's done his job and updated it to remove a couple of the items that we've unfortunately lost. I think, if memory serves, there might be one or two that have snuck in. So, out in the murk, a cub. Presumably heading our way. Yeah, a lot of rain out there as well. Not a pleasant day, but a little bit of aviation action to share with you this afternoon. Ash saying the Flying Bulls aircraft are just pristine. They absolutely are. That DC-6 in that shiny metal's pretty awesome. Yeah, Angus talking about how enthusiastic Adam is about Lesno, and rightfully so. A really special event with a very special atmosphere around it. And they go the extra mile, you know, they make the extra effort to do some quite special things. So, yeah, if you are thinking about subscribing to watch the stream from Duxford this weekend, you'll be a member for at least a month, and that will give you access to the Lesno show as well. Should be pretty special. The evening shows with all the pyrotechnics. Pretty awesome. Yeah, real strong crosswind as well. Look at that. Making use of the width of the grass there. Getting the aircraft into wind as much as possible. But gusting 35 is what was forecast this afternoon. I'm tucked away inside the trailer, so I can't tell you how blustery it is at the moment, but that looked pretty windy. And directly across the runway as well, unfortunately, so proper crosswind. So I think I'll let the cub taxi in, why not? In the absence of anything else to look at. We'll see where he ends up and let him shut down. we are. Safely on the deck. DC-3 over the far side there. Yeah, things are coming together, and I anticipate a bit of a busy morning tomorrow, I suppose, as we get more. Ah, look at that. Me taking a picture of you, taking a picture of me. That's probably heading home to say I've arrived safe and well. So, what else have we got looking forward to the weekend? So, I mean, this is the 80th anniversary of D-Day, so that's an anniversary we're, of course, marking over the weekend. We've got the Dakotas, the D-Day squadron, aircraft coming over from America. I've forgive me, lost track of what we have and what we don't, but that will become pretty evident tomorrow. If I run a video for you, though, it'll give you a bit of a sense of what we were doing. Gosh, what are we talking? 30 years ago for the 50th anniversary of D-Day. So in 1994, Adrian had cameras all over the place to record the goings-on in the anniversary year. So we were over at Southsea, where a colleague of mine is heading this week to do much the same, and over to Yeovilton as well. Very many modern day at the time air assets arriving there and departing for flypasts. And I think this piece also covers the Normandy element, where we had 1,200 paratroopers dropping from one DC-3 and then lots and lots of C-130s. Take a look at this.
So to the main event of the commemoration on this side of the English Channel. Portsmouth was an important embarkation point for departing D-Day forces, and the adjacent Southsea Common was the venue for a huge open-air commemorative service attended by Her Majesty the Queen. Southsea Common is dominated by the Naval Memorial, and it was an appropriate location for the flags of the Allied nations that took part on D-Day to be embarked on a number of vessels to make the journey across the Channel for further ceremonies the following day. Meanwhile, much of the aviation element of the event was preparing at the host base, HMS Heron, Royal Naval Air Station Yeovilton in Somerset. An extraordinary variety of aircraft types from 11 air arms is gathered in readiness for a flypast over Southsea and the flotilla of ships heading for Normandy. A MiG-29 and 2 MiG-23s from the Czech Air Force. Tornadoes from the Royal Air Force and Sea Harriers from the Royal Navy. an F-111 from the Royal Australian Air Force. F-16s from Holland, Belgium and Norway. Eight F-18 Hornets from Canada. Mirage 2000s from the French Air Force. And more MiG-29s, this time from the Slovak Air Force. Super Étendard from the French Navy. F-4 Phantoms from the Greek Air Force. F-14 Tomcats from the United States Navy. And F-15 Eagles from the United States Air Force. The Queen had by now embarked in Britannia, and the flying at Southsea was opened by gliders, a reminder of the very significant part they played in the invasion. Ceremonial flypasts last just a few fleeting seconds, and they belie the extensive preparation and practice that's involved, so we use slow motion to help savour the spectacle. Historical aircraft first, led by the Navy's Swordfish and Firefly. A pleasure to see the civilian-owned Blenheim flying with the military historic flights. And the B-17 Flying Fortress brings up the rear of the first wave. To fighters now, and 3 Spitfires are followed by a P-51 Mustang. Hawks from RAF Valley spell out a unique message. And clear for the first Yeovilton aircraft. G-Kings, Lynx and Gazelles remind us that today's naval aviation, for the Royal Navy at least, is almost entirely rotary wing. The United States Army with Black Hawk and Cobra helicopters. And just a glimpse of what the skies must have looked like 50 years ago, as thousands of aircraft climbed and formated ready to make their contribution to bringing World War II to a close. 17 Hercules aircraft heading for Normandy. Over Normandy, a few minutes later, the Battle of Britain Memorial Flight's Dakota disgorges some senior officers exactly where the offensive began 50 years earlier with the capture of Pegasus Bridge at Ranville near Caen. Followed by the Hercules, RAF, French and Canadian aircraft carrying nearly 1,200 British, French, Canadian and Polish troops. His Royal Highness the Prince of Wales is Colonel-in-Chief of the Parachute Regiment. Accompanied by His Royal Highness the Duke of York, he was there to take the salute in the centre of the dropping zone.
Pretty awesome stuff. I hope you enjoyed that excerpt from D-Day Airshow. So that was a programme we produced 30 years ago. I say we, I mean I was there watching those paratroopers drop, stood beside the camera. Pretty remarkable experience, but didn't have much to do with producing that programme. But Adrian, who's on camera this weekend, certainly did. Organised the whole thing, edited the thing. It was a pretty remarkable year. I mean, 50 years on from D-Day, so very many veterans still around, and a huge effort made to commemorate it in some real style, as you will have seen from all the various aircraft types that made the effort of coming to the UK and carrying out that fly past and that parachute drop over Normandy. Very many other events had lots of special commemorative displays as well. So that programme, what is it? It's about a 70-minute programme in total, I think. And I've actually made it kind of free to view on the streaming service. So there's a link in YouTube. If you're already a subscriber, you can, of course, go and watch that now. But if you haven't yet subscribed to watch.planestv.com, the streaming service that we'll be broadcasting through over the event weekend, this weekend at Duxford, and in Lesno in 3 weeks' time. And as I say, it's where that D-Day Airshow is available. If you haven't yet subscribed to that, you can click the link in the description on the YouTube video, and that will take you directly to a free viewing experience of that programme from 30 years ago. There's quite a lot in our archive still to... That one's just been published this week, so it's an effort we've gone to because it's a D-Day anniversary year, finally got around to digging that master tape out, and I'm glad we did. There's pretty remarkable stuff in there. So if you haven't yet delved into the archive stuff on watch.planestv.com, now's a good time to do that. You can click the link in the description. So we're sort of looking at ADSB, scratching our heads, looking at what might be going on this afternoon. Obviously we're winding down, the museum itself closing here at Duxford very shortly. Not much flying anticipated. We had hoped to see a couple of practices and some parachute drops here today, but that wasn't to be. So do join us tomorrow on the streaming service at watch.planestv.com, probably live from around about midday, and flying starting in the early afternoon, going on till 5 or 6 ish. Is all very ish estimates based on previous shows, because I don't yet have a running order. But yeah, around about midday throughout the afternoon, live from Duxford. Don't know what we're expecting to see. Someone was asking about parachute drops, so we are expecting 3 of the DC-3s, the C-47s, the Dakotas, the Skytrains, whatever you want to call them, dropping parachutes over the airfield on one of the days at least. I can't recall what was last said to me about the plan there, but yeah, on one of the days we're expected to see that. Possibly both. Did I hear rumours? I'm not sure. We're expecting to see Rafale both days. Rich Goodwin in the jet pits did arrive earlier as well. So expecting to see him. I know he's been working on some new manoeuvres with that 3-engined pit special that if you're regular watchers of Planes TV you'll be familiar with. But yeah, the 2 jet turbines strapped to the side. It's not a very kind way of describing all the engineering work that went on to get those jet engines into a flyable state and the aircraft into a flyable state, but does give a lot of extra thrust and some interesting asymmetric power options as well. So some pretty remarkable aerobatics being performed by Rich we're expecting over the weekend. So Rich Goodwin, what else off the top of my head? We've got Red Arrows, really looking forward to seeing them over the weekend. I can see people discussing some of the things that are cancelled. Obviously RV8s we've seen, so Team Raven. Yeah, it will be an action-packed, and because of some of those cancellations we talked about earlier, so losing Sabre and P38, still got the DC-6, and perhaps someone watching can find the B-25 for me. As someone said, it was over Germany earlier. It may well be after we finished broadcasting here that it arrives, although it gets a rattle on, doesn't it? Depends whereabouts in Germany it was. Let me just chat to Matt on camera. Trying to decide whether that fire truck's going to spoil your view of the DC-6 or not. I think he's going to back up again. We shall see. And Matt's expect... Okay, lovely. Okay, not much flying action at the moment. We do have a... is it a hare or is it a rabbit? How's your wildlife identification at home? I see a couple of fairly large ears. I think that's a hare. Yeah, not much flying action going on at the moment, but I don't blame anyone. It's pretty grim still, very low cloud, very breezy. Not so damp here at Duxford anymore. Weather forecast over the weekend looking really, really good though. Sunday in particular should provide some really nice flying weather. Someone saying a Cat 230 seems to be heading our way. Thank you, Ash. And perhaps more Team Raven, someone saying. I think Ben telling me the B-25 near Ostend. Well, that's cracking on pretty well, isn't it? Do I stay alive for the B-25? I know what your answer will be in the chat. Have to get... we always end up in this compromise of wanting to bring you live action, but also wanting to focus on getting everything set for their main show day tomorrow. I'm going to bring up ADSB and take a look at where that is and make a judgment, I think. Oh great, now I've got two camera operators getting very excited about the wildlife. I mean, that's not a bad shot though. And if you could hold the camera steady. Yeah, the fire engine's moving around, so we're juggling with that. We've operated cameras from the ground level today just because of the strong winds. Some noisy fire trucks parking up. Probably, I'm not sure what they've been up to, but it wouldn't surprise me if they've just gone for a photo with the DC-6. I don't know. Maybe doing something more useful than that. I'm not sure. I'll tell you what we'll do as we wait for some more flying action here. I talked about Rich Goodwin. I put together a little video of what he's been up to and what he has planned for the display season. Let's give you a look at that. Give you an idea of what to look forward to when it comes to Rich Goodwin's display over the weekend.
I started with a Pitts S2S, which was originally on the home built register, which enabled me to add modifications to it. And it's all the small incremental modifications that make it into a great airshow aircraft. Different tailplane, different rudder, different wing and stuff like this. During that process, I bumped into Eddie Salmon, who's an American design engineer. He used to work with Curtis Pitts, so there's not a lot he doesn't know about the Pitts Special. He had just test flown the Jet Wacko, which is a Wacko biplane with a Learjet engine basically strapped to the bottom of it, and I jokingly said to him, "Can we put some jet engines on my pits?" And he said, "Yeah, sure, Rich, we can do that in a weekend." I thought, yeah, okay. A weekend in America, it transpired into something a bit more like 4 years in Europe and the United Kingdom. There's been a lot of ups and downs during that process. We've had to deal with elevated tailplane temperatures because of where the jet engines are mounted. The gyroscopic loads on the fuselage, the jet engines rotate at 46,000 RPM, so they're like quite big gyroscopes strapped onto the side of the aircraft. So initially we tested it without the turbines running. We had to do a lot of spin testing, uprights, inverted and flat spins. And then came the big day when first test flew it with the jet engines running. I don't think I wasn't that nervous, but I was cautious, and it soon became apparent that once I got airborne and started, flying with the jets asymmetrically and symmetrically, that all the problems that we thought might happen weren't going to happen. In fact, the aeroplane flies very, very nicely. Some of the things we can do, differently with this aeroplane, you normally get airborne about 70 knots and, rotate into the vertical, and as soon as you get into the vertical, you're going straight up, which is a great feeling, and it also looks great for the crowd. It makes a great noise as well. One of the other interesting manoeuvres that we've looked at and successfully done, pull into the vertical, and we get to the point where there's zero airspeed, full right rudder, holding it stationary, and then full left rudder with full right asymmetric thrust. You can get the aeroplane to go around a couple of times, which looks, quite impressive. And the other thing which is really nice to do is, obviously, as soon as I land the aeroplane, we normally shut the propeller down and just taxi in on the jet engines, which kind of blows people's minds away as well. So we had a successful 2023 season. We flew 22 out of 22 shows. Looking forward to the 2024 season. We're making some refinements over this winter, and really looking forward, hopefully, to displaying the aeroplane in Europe.
So, very much looking forward to seeing Rich over the weekend. Fantastic guy. Lovely to see some innovation on the show circuit. And yeah, 2 jet engines on an already very, very powerful pit special. Very exciting to see what he's come up with over the winter for his flying display. A couple of RVs. No, it's not an RV, is that the Cap 2? Cap. Nervously glanced at ADSB exchange to work out what he's looking at. It's Cap something or other. And I can see the V25 over the channel, and I think we'll stay live for the V25. Of course we will. Didn't manage to show you the DC-6 earlier, so we'll stick around for the V25. So if you're just tuning in, wondering what on earth we're up to, we're just enjoying a little bit of aviation action as we get ready for the main flying display weekend here at Duxford D-Day Summer Airshow over Saturday and Sunday, which will be streaming through watch.planestv.com. If you're not familiar with that service, that's where we host all our archive of content and live broadcasts through the summer, this being our first major one of the year. Got Lesno in Poland in 3 weeks' time, of course Air Tattoo in July, and back here at Duxford in September, and a few bits and pieces here and there in between. If you've been watching for the last sort of 20 minutes or so, you'll have been watching some of that archive material from 1994, the 50th anniversary of D-Day. We produced a programme covering some of the airshow action and commemorative flypasts and parachute drops. And we've just made that available on that streaming service as well. If you fancy watching that for free, so you don't have to pay me anything, you can follow the link in the description, and that will take you to a special page where you can do so. It will also offer you a discount on subscribing to the streaming service, so do check that out if you're interested. I've got ADSB Exchange open on one screen, enjoying the views here at Duxford on the other. See a B-25 sort of halfway over the channel at the moment, and I think we're probably 20 minutes out or so, 20-25 maybe, something like that. So we'll stay live for him. I've got booked in at the pub for dinner at 7:30, so we've got a little while yet, but I'm probably not going to hang around much beyond the B-25 arriving. But yeah, that will be a little while yet. So we've got the RV-8s down on the ground. See Gerald there. And how many have we got? Have we got all of them? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I think that's everyone, isn't it? I think so. You can see the view I'm looking at. So nice to see those guys making it through all of the bad weather, which has been spread all over this afternoon. Well, all day really. PC-12. I suppose that's heading our way. No. So one other video I wanted to share with you. This is from a Duxford show actually. So we're winding the clock back 10 years to the last sort of big anniversary D-Day show here at Duxford. And this will give you a bit of a flavour of what we're looking forward to tomorrow, with very many Dakotas having made the effort to either come over from the US or get themselves shipshape here in Europe to be part of the air show over this weekend.
We look forward to the drop by the Parachute Regiment free fall team, the Red Devils, and they're doing so from one of the C-47s. Here to talk through their display is Captain John Bowen.
Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. As the commentator there mentioned, I'm Captain John Bowen, originally from the 3rd Battalion, the Parachute Regiment. I'm ably assisted by Sergeant Baz Loftus, who you can see to your front. He's also from the 3rd Battalion, the Parachute Regiment. What you'll notice will be smoke going from one of the planes. That'll be the smoke that we wear on our ankles before they'll pop it just before they descend out the plane. And you can see it going there. And that's the first jumper out. That's Colour Sergeant Billy Blanchard. He's falling at 120 miles per hour, and he's pulled his chute there. What you'll see today will be 9 skydivers, all spread from all 3 battalions across the Parachute Regiment, and we represent the Parachute Regiment and the British Army across the globe and across the UK. Today we're proudly flying the flag of our Parachute Regiment. Also we'll be flying the Union flag and the Red Devils flag. This descent was from 2,500 feet. Clearly, on the 6th of June 1944, that would have been from a much lower height with static line parachutes. They would have descended from 500 to 600 feet. Give them a warm round of applause, ladies and gentlemen. That is Colour Sergeant Billy Blanchard. He has completed over 5,000 skydive jumps, and he's been on the team for 12 years. Swooping in there, Lance Corporal Crutchington. As you can see from his helmet, he has got all the camera work on there. Thank you very much, ladies and gentlemen.
Captain John Bowen of the Red Devils, thank you very much. And now we come to the finale of today's D-Day salute. Not for some years have so many C-47A Skytrains in D-Day stripes been assembled on a British airfield. The solo aircraft that we saw taking off as the fourth member of the group has come all the way from the USA and is owned by the National Warplane Museum of Geneseo in New York State, and it's running in now from the right.
Trip across from the United States was perfect for us. It was better than we could have anticipated. We had wonderful weather. We had very favorable winds, and everything about the airplane and the crew, I couldn't ask for more. The Dakota is just a wonderful airplane. It has no bad habits. It handles very nicely. It has acceptable performance. It's very, very reliable. And as far as me flying it, I've been lucky enough to fly these airplanes over a period of almost 45 years. I haven't been continually flying the Dakotas, but I started flying it when I was very young, so I'm very at home in this airplane.
The most touching moment to me was yesterday as we were flying from Prestwick down here to Duxford. We came down across the East Midlands. In 1944, on June the 5th, Whiskey 7 departed RAF Cottesmore at 11:15 at night with the 17 paratroopers headed for St. Mary Glace. Yesterday, after flying over Barkston Heath and them clearing the pattern for us to return to the original Army Air Force bases that they served out of was incredible. And when we approached Cottesmore, which is closed right now, it's an Army barracks, and flew down that 8,000-foot runway at maybe 50 feet above the ground, slow and low, I just felt like Whiskey 7 had really come back home, where she started the greatest moment of her history.
Ben, this has been a fantastic weekend, I think you'll agree.
It certainly has, and well, what luck we've had with the weather. We had almost a full programme today, and then an absolutely full show in all senses today.
Absolutely right. And we were saying yesterday that in 1944, the weather conditions that we've experienced this weekend were pretty much the same as the weather conditions back in 1944, because the weather was terrible, and there was great debate about whether the operation would proceed. And the Met officer from the Royal Air Force, he said that he envisaged that there would be a clear period, which encouraged Eisenhower to give the go-ahead. But it was touch and go right up to the last minute. And this weekend, yesterday, to be fair, we were fortunate that we got the entire flying program away. But at times it was looking touch and go, wasn't it?
It certainly was. Not so today. Pretty much perfect conditions and some absolutely splendid flying. And I hope that that C-47 routine at the end will live as long in the memory of everyone else here as it will mine.
Yeah, it'll be a good year or two before we see anything quite like that again here at Duxford, I'm sure.
So that was the scene 10 years ago here at Duxford, and we're hoping for much of the same over the weekend. And that's the live scene now. The RV8s there of Team Raven wrapped up, ready for the evening. I'm anxiously looking at ADSB. The B-25's about to go feet dry over... where's that? Burnham on Crouch, I see, setting it down near Southend. So it's still a little while to go for the aircraft. Got a couple more clips I can share with you to get to whet the appetite for the weekend. Clicking around on ADSB, see if there's anything else due our way. Can't see very much. Yeah, the formation landing was quite special. The guys did a really good job, actually. It's quite challenging for folks who, you know, probably haven't flown together at all or very much, so finding an opportunity to do that prior to the flying display, it's tricky and a lot of work to do so, burning lots of fuel to make sure everyone's current and feeling comfortable with each other to put on a show. And the guys certainly did 10 years ago, so let's hope for much the same over the weekend. And we saw them dropping the Red Devils there. We're expecting to see them over the weekend as well, I think. They do have a list somewhere. I should bring that up. Let's do that, shall we? That's an important thing that we try and do prior to a show day. Run you through what on earth we're likely to see. So, yeah, B-25 we're expecting to have with us live here at Duxford in a little while. I'm probably still estimating 20 minutes or so. Rafale solo demo. The Rafale, it's just such an awesome airshow performer. Very hard one to film. I always say that. Get my excuses in early. But yeah, fabulous display. And we look forward to seeing that both days over the weekend. DC-6 and B-25, Red Devils, and more parachute drops as well. So as part of the flying display, static line drop from the DC-3s. I think there's 3 of them available to do that. Aerosleep acrobatics, we have the Wing Walkers, Team Raven we've seen, Rich Goodwin we've talked a little bit about. The Titans, I'm not sure whether we've got both aircraft actually. I know the Decathlon's having a bit of extra work, I think, so perhaps just the Extreme Air XA-42. Flying Comrades, so the Yaks were all out in force yesterday, didn't get a chance to fly because it was pretty poor weather yesterday as well. But we've got one Yak 52, one Yak 18T and one Yak 50. Now that doesn't make sense because I'm pretty sure there's 4 of them. So you might be able to double up on the 52 there. But yeah, a nice spectrum of Yaks. The 18T being my favourite, but we'll save that story for another day. Hawk Fury, Ferry Swordfish up from Navy Wings. I think that's was that a late edition? I can't remember. But wonderful to see the Swordfish. I haven't crossed paths with it for a long while. In the programme we were just playing out from 1994, the then Royal Navy historic flight, was it? Gosh, how stuff evaporates from your mind over time. Yeah, the historic flight had 2 Swordfish flying at the time. Very nice to see those 2 together. P-51 Mustang Jersey Jerk, Sally B, of course, P-47, and I see 6 Grasshoppers listed here. Can that be true? That would be quite something to see. We've got one on the deck already. Supermarine Spitfire Mark 14 Fighter Collection, a Mark 1 from Arco, Mark 9B from the old Flying Machine Company, and the Blenheim as well. Saw that practicing yesterday. Always gorgeous to see, lovely sound. Sounds loads nicer than Spitfire if you ask me. Hawk Fury from the Historic Aircraft Collection, and the wonderful sight of the de Havilland Comet is expected from the Shuttleworth Collection. A long time since I've seen that as well. I might see if I get a chance to film that myself. I'll be generally in the trailer tomorrow, but there are some aircraft you're just desperate to get out and film yourself. The Rafale being the other one for me tomorrow, and alongside the D-Day squadron. So expecting to see, so I see listed here 4 C-47s, 2 DC-3s and 1 C-53. Now that might well be out of date, so this is our list as of a few days ago, or maybe even longer ago to be honest. So don't quote me on that one, but yeah, sky full of World War II transports at some point during the day tomorrow and Sunday, and then 3 of those aircraft, C-47s, involved in the parachute drop. So hopefully that gives you a bit of a sense of what we're expecting to see over the weekend. Obviously live on the streaming service at watch.planestv.com. And as I've mentioned a few times, there's a link in the description that will get you free access to our 50th anniversary programme from 30 years ago. And also give you a 30% discount on your first month's subscription to watch.planestv.com. So if you are thinking of joining us over the weekend, do go check that one out. If you do subscribe, you'll have access for the full month. That means you'll have access to our Lesno show out in Poland in just 3 weeks' time. We talked earlier about that, but if you weren't around and don't know about it, don't know what Lesno means or where it is, a Polish air show, and it's a really special event. Early evening and late evening shows into the darkness, lots of flares, lots of pyros. And we'll be incorporating 2 live drones during that flying display, operating in the flying display box. One sort of wide angle following aircraft, you'll get a sense of that in a moment. And 1 FPV as well, which is the bit of an unknown for me. So going to be a challenging job of choosing what to bring you. But yeah, very innovative show, and we're very excited to be pairing up with them on bringing you a live broadcast from all the flying action over, what are we looking? We'll do streams on 3 days. A couple of streams on the Friday. I'm getting my days muddled up. I won't go into the detail. They're all on the website. There's a calendar function on the new website, which will give you much more clarity than I'm apparently able to on when we'll be live from Lesno. But to give you a sense of what we're likely to see there, this is a little video about the drone live stream that will be, or live feeds that we'll be incorporating into the live stream.
During our live broadcast from Antidotum Airshow Lesno, we'll be getting you closer to the action than ever before with live aerial filming from inside the displays. For 5 years, Antidotum Airshow has been working with Aerosparks Drones, the leading airshow drone specialist. This was possible only after years of intense training with real manned aircraft, initially allowing Aerosparks drones to record ground movements and operate outside the aerobatic box, but later allowing them to fly inside the display area with suitably trained and qualified display pilots. In 2024, we'll be broadcasting those views live for the first time during our Friday and Saturday live streams. Here's a taster of the sort of thing you can expect.
So Friday 21st, Saturday 22nd of June, live from Lesno. Do join us on watch.planestv.com. There's a link in the description that will get you free access to our 50th anniversary D-Day show and 30% off your first month. So for not very much money, you can join us. And the site is a new and improved site as well. Good Chromecast support. Really looking forward to doing a big show like this, as we are doing this weekend, through that new platform. It should be a lot more user-friendly, so if you've used it before and got frustrated, do give it another go. Let's take a look at where this B-25 is, shall we? Got the map. Okay, his feet dry. Over near Malden. Heybridge, east of Chelmsford. So a little while to row. Where are we? 7 minutes past 6. Oh my goodness, get a move on. It's doing a bit of sightseeing. So... okay, if you'd gone direct line, it would have been half an hour, but we're doing a little bit of a sightseeing expedition, I think. I should have set this up so I can give you give you a view of this, but I dare say if you're at home, you've got ADSB Exchange open as well. Actually anticipating the arrival of it. I don't even know for sure it's coming here, but I'm assuming so. Practice approach at Southend, is that right? That makes sense. Staring at this map, wondering where he's heading for. Maybe. Looks like he swung round just before he got there. Would have been nice. What's everyone saying in the chat? Yeah, Red Arrows on Sunday. Do you know, that's the one item I didn't mention earlier, isn't it? Of course, the Red Arrows back to a full 9 ship. Very much looking forward. They are going to get the best of the weather, I think. Yeah, sadly not seeing the Hawker Tempest yet. Not yet available. Technical stuff, I think. Yeah. And yeah, steadily running out of things to talk to you about. It'll be a much more action-packed day tomorrow and Sunday, and another good opportunity for me to say, I don't really like talking to a microphone. I'd much rather be behind a camera. And of course, Ben Donnell will be giving you expert commentary through the flying display over the weekend, along with Colin. So you can look forward to someone who's prepared some notes, done their research, knows their stuff, rather than Ian sat in a trailer staring at ADSB Exchange, scratching his head. Oops. That wasn't a very useful view for you. Fire engine passing as the DC-6 is post-flighted. Is that a thing? Presumably plenty of checks and lubricating to do. I'm no engineer, but it's quite an aircraft to keep airworthy, isn't it? Bringing along a good team of people to make sure it's in fine fettle for the flying display over the weekend. And Kieran's... so whereabouts are you, Kieran? I can see you're listening to radio, so you must be fairly local. I did have a radio running here, but I think Matt's taken it outside. I don't know who it is. And we are on Duxford. Let's turn it up. So, Kieran, you can race me to letting everyone know when the B-25 calls up. Because in theory, I've now got one I can hear. I'll give you a bit of Atmos as well. I've realised I hadn't done. Not that there was much to listen to beyond fire engines going home. So I suppose that's the Cambridge... extra fire engine that they bring in for events, I think. I might be talking rubbish there, but I think generally we just have the Duxford aircraft. Now, a question for those of you in the chat. Can they do customs here at Duxford, or do they need to go somewhere else to do customs? Duxford must have people coming in and out from overseas, right? Okay, aircraft just west of Colchester now. I refuse to be late for the pub. They've been good to me. But we will stick around for this B-25. Yeah, sad not to see the P-38 and the F-86 as well, but some nice Duxford-based aircraft filling in the gaps that those have created. Been a while since I've seen the P-38. We will see a sort of full... gamut of flying balls aircraft out at the Lesno show. I should stop going on about it, shouldn't I? But those guys always making a extra special effort out there. So if you are thinking about subscribing over the weekend, of course it's a monthly subscription. If you stick around for a couple of months, of course we do have Air Tattoo to look forward to. So in the middle of July, we'll be coming to you live from RAF Fairford for a full 7 days. We'll do 6 days of streams. So is that right? Yeah, Wednesday through to Monday. So we'll do the arrivals free to view and ad-free on our streaming service. Sorry, free to view on YouTube and ad-free on our streaming service. Then the main show weekend, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, available through the streaming service. And anyone familiar with the event knows it's quite a spectacle. got a quick video here which should give you a sense of what's been revealed so far. I'm hoping we're not giving anything away, but yeah, quick video here to give you an idea of what to look forward to from Air Tattoo.
Welcome to RIAT. It calls itself the world's greatest airshow, and with 250 aircraft from almost 30 nations, that's a difficult claim to dispute. Planes TV will bring you all the action from RIAT 2024 across 6 days of live broadcasting, from arrivals to departures and everything in between. This year's show marks 50 years of the F-16, the most successful fighter in operation today. With over 20 Fighting Falcons from 10 air arms expected, it will be one of the largest gatherings of F-16s ever at a public event. RIAT also marks the 75th anniversary of NATO with special flypasts on the Friday, and the 100th anniversary of the Royal Canadian Air Force with their CF-18 demo team due to perform all weekend long. We're looking forward to seeing several RIAT flying display debuts this year, like the F-15 Advanced Eagle making one of its first public appearances. Also RIAT first-timers, Germany's relatively young EF-2000 and A400M solo displays. They'll be joined by numerous familiar favourites, 2 more Typhoons, 3 Gripens, the Spanish Harrier, Italian C-27, German NH-90, Patry Swiss and Midnight Hawks. The static participants are too numerous to mention, but the B-52, F-4, CC-150 and Elise will surely go down as highlights. Catch all the action with Planes TV.
Quite the show that's going to be. Very much looking forward to our week at Air Tattoo in July. So that available, the arrivals, as I say, available free to view on YouTube, and the departures too on the Monday. But you can watch it all ad-free, including the show weekend itself, over on watch.planestv.com. It's going to be quite the show. So hope we catch the weather. I see a B-25 not too far away, not on camera yet, but heading our way. Looking like it's heading east of the airfield. I don't suppose the wind has swung round that much. Maybe I can get one of the guys on the windsock. Yeah, I think the wind's still there. Still an easterly, very northerly though, right across the runway there, making things pretty challenging. So we can expect to see the B-25 do a bit of manoeuvring, unless he's going into Cambridge. Oh gosh, don't do this to me. It's conceivable, isn't it? Given the time of day. Alright, well we'll stare at the flight radar together and cross our fingers, shall we? Quick run through again of the sorts of things we're going to see over the weekend. Lots of Dakotas. Great effort made to bring many together to commemorate the work that aircraft did on D-Day and around D-Day, before or after. Parachute drop from 3 of those, and then I'm not sure what the format of the sort of formation display, but expecting to see sort of a larger number than the 3 together. I'm being very careful about numbers because I'm not sure. The other highlights for me likely to be the de Havilland Comet, of course the Flying Bulls machines, the DC-6 and B-25. Rafale, of course, our fast jet of the weekend. Challenging one to film, but because it's such an extraordinary performance. You can see the Yaks heading out at the moment. So the Yaks heading out there are the Flying Bulls. Now, does that mean they've decided it's not going to rain overnight and they'll leave the aircraft out there, or does it mean they're going to try and get a practice in this afternoon? We are pretty late for that, I would think, so it may just be getting the aircraft out away from the sort of showground area here at Duxford and ready on the flight line for the weekend. Where were we on the running order? So talking about the Rafale, of course Team Raven as well, the Titans, I'm expecting just the XA-42, but who knows, it wouldn't be the first time I've been wrong in the last 5 minutes. The jet pits from Rich Goodwin, 2 jet engines on the side of that pit special, performing some pretty remarkable manoeuvres. We watched the video earlier about that. Red Devils parachute team, part of the parachuting action over the weekend. Got Sally B, lots of grasshoppers. Okay, I hear someone on the radio, Kieran, if you're listening too. Didn't catch who it was, but this might be our B-25. So stay with us here as we expect the arrival. Well, I'm not 100% sure, but it's gotta be. Yeah, looking good, I would say. Looking good, gents. Ladies and gents, I should say. Bit of a breezy afternoon, been a very breezy day, but it has swung round a bit now, more of an easterly than directly across the runway as it started out. Got Adrian giving you a good view there for the windsock. And to give you, if you're not familiar with Duxford, we're sort of, as the cameras, so we're pretty much Dayton, crowd centre. And Adrian there giving you a view of the windsock looking south. So it does mean we're looking into the sunshine, which is a bit of a shame. But yeah, the runway running east-west pretty much. Well, what is it? Can't recall what the 2406 voice in my ear says. So slightly off, 30 degrees off, east-west. Yeah, so expecting him coming in on 06, and yeah, looking like we'll pick him up fairly soon. I can stop rabbiting and you can listen to the wonderful sound of a B-25 taxiing. Fortunately, we won't hear much of that. He'll be landing over out to the west. He'll come off the end of the runway and park up with his DC-6 friend and not come past us, so I won't get too much of that, but it'll be nice to see the aircraft on the ground here at Duxford. I think we've got a good few minutes left to go, so maybe now's a good chance just to have one last reminder of what we're expecting to see over the weekend. So here's a bit of a trailer for the show this weekend.
The morning of June 6th, this was the battleground. Vast squadrons of bombers and transports led the way. More than 11,000 planes spearheading the attack. Paratroopers landed in Normandy behind the coastal defenses. Landings made with timing and precision, perfected only through scores of rehearsals like this.
D-Day is marked 80 years on at the Duxford Summer Airshow 2024. One of the key commemorative events of the aviation component of Operation Overlord, the show will bring together a large collection of Dakotas from the USA and Europe for mass flypasts and parachute drops. But it's not just about the D-Day anniversary, with airshow acts flying in from across Europe. The Flying Bulls are bringing their DC-6, P-38 and B-25, and Frederick Ackery is visiting the UK with his Sabre for only the second time. Plus, there's the outstanding Rafale solo display from France.
So an action-packed weekend to look forward to. Not much action at the moment. There's a windsock. There's some traffic on the M11, which is now moving. It wasn't doing for a large portion of the day. It's a bit of a challenge, the M11. If there's static cars on there, it does affect the flying display. Do have to be a bit careful about that. But yeah, flowing smoothly at the moment. B-25 in the vicinity. So we'll probably bring the stream to an end once the aircraft's on the ground. And there's our B-25. Gear down. So it's been a bit of a slow afternoon here at Duxford. I know many people waiting for the stream to start. We'd hoped to be live with some practice displays and parachute drops and things. Sadly, the weather caused that to not be the case, but hopefully enjoying the sight now of a B-25 arriving here at Duxford. It's been a while. Fantastic stuff. So B-25 will head over to the corner there, park up with the DC-6, I'm assuming. Yeah, well, actually, because we've got Dakotas to worry about tomorrow as well. There's going to be lots of big aircraft around, so I mean, this big old airfield, if they don't mind the grass, there's space. But don't quote me on... oh yeah, I can see a Marshall over on the hard standing. So Kathleen are not on site today. That's headed down to the southwest for another show. B-17 is parked up. You can see the DC-6 just creeping into shot, so it looks like he's heading over that way. Lovely stuff. Fantastic to see the B-25 here. So thank you very much for sticking around with us all afternoon. I'm sorry it took a while to get going on the live broadcast this afternoon. Not much flying happening to bring you, unfortunately. There will be, however, lots of flying over the weekend, so do join us live on watch.planestv.com. If you haven't joined that service already, now's a good time. There's a link in the description to a free video. That's the D-Day 50th. And if you follow that link, you'll also get 30% off your first month, giving you access to this show, the Duxford D-Day show over this weekend. But also, given that it's a month long, you'll get access to the live broadcast from Lesno in 3 weeks' time as well. And if you stick around a bit longer, we've got Air Tattoo to look forward to. If you've enjoyed our coverage this afternoon, do remember to give the video a like and do share to your friends. Push the subscription numbers just over 100,000. It would be nice if we hit that this year. We're very close. So thanks again for tuning in, and I will see you. I'll probably hop on the stream tomorrow, but as I've said a few times as I've fumbled around holding this microphone today, you'll be in the capable hands of Ben Donnell and Colin tomorrow, giving you guidance through the flying display in a much more professional manner, and I can concentrate on something I'm much more capable of, hopefully. Right, thank you very much for tuning in. I'll leave you with that wonderful sight of the B-25 and DC-6 down at the end there at Duxford as I say goodbye, and look forward to seeing you tomorrow.